I want to show some of the COVID vaccine information that was presented by the manufacturers. This data is showing pre-vaccination and post-vaccination for the XBB 1.5 vaccine, where we're seeing that regardless of XBB 1.5, JN1, or KP2, that pre and post is showing an increased immune responsiveness. However, this greatest responsiveness is with the XBB 1.5 COVID variant, because that's what it's targeted to. So while the responsiveness, for example, to KP2 is 10 times lower than it is to XBB 1.5, there is still some immune protection increases. More importantly, by about 6 months out, much of this has waned, especially for protection against newer emerging variants. Additionally, we see a reversed problem, where XBB 1.5 and JN1 are so far apart that you don't have much cross-protection. So as we already know, while XBB 1.5 vaccination doesn't provide that much against JN1 and its subvariants, a JN1 monovalent vaccine, while providing good protection for JN1 and its subvariants, doesn't really provide good protection alone against XBB 1.5. Which brings me back onto why we need this historic vaccine immunity profiles for everybody. Because, for example, young kids that get only monovalent JN1 vaccines in the coming future, they're not going to have much protection against a reemergence of an XBB lineage. Similar to how if JN1 was transported back in time during the XBB 1.5 wave, then that vaccine wouldn't do much to protect against it. And with a more controlled study here by Moderna, I believe, it's showing the pre- and post-vaccination immunities when compared to different COVID variants, where we're seeing the highest level of neutralizing antibody titer against JN1, and then we see this decrease as COVID continues to evolve and mutate further and further away. Where we saw a similar thing for the Pfizer vaccinations, where pre- and post-boost, there was a clear signal increase in neutralizing antibodies. But we also saw that that signal decreased with increasing COVID mutations, so KP3, for example, is over here, where JN1 is increasing by 40.3 times, and KP3 is only increasing by 13.2 times. Or by times, I mean the difference between the pre-boost and post-boost levels.